things are not how they appear. Yeah. The Ukrainian situation. The Russians have lost, I don't know how many tanks. I haven't bothered me arse to really, I haven't bothered me arse to watch it. It all seems very queer. The Russian, like I said, as I said in previous videos, by all accounts, the Russian defense budget is $60 billion. The American defense budget is around $725 billion. Annual defense budget. The annual defense budget. They've got. It's actually in the constitutional. I beg your pardon. It's a congressional, I think, or a federal Congress. Congress set out a thing saying that the American Navy must have. No shit. Don't fuck about. We will not accept anything less than. I think it's 11 carrier groups. 11 carrier groups in the United States Navy. The Gerald R. Ford. I don't think they've yet launched the USS. Was it John Fitzgerald fucking Kennedy? The USS Kennedy. The new class of supercarrier. You had the Nimitz class. Now you've got the Gerald R. Ford class. There's a Gerald R. Ford currently bobbing about in ocean. Bobbing about there. And that's, I think it's undergoing, I think it's still, I don't think it's fully operational. If things kicked off, yeah, it'd be pressed into action, I'm absolutely certain. But that's $13 billion right there. The Gerald R. Ford class. The first one of the fleet. The first in its class. With its electromagnetic catapult. Don't have steam catapults anymore, it's electromagnetic catapults. Much to the chagrin of the guys who like the steam catapults. But it's new technology, so it's going to have problems, and it's going to need ironing out. it's going to have problems. Problematic. Oh yeah, it's not as good, You've always got that with weapon systems. You've got a new thing comes along, and it's like, yeah, it's ever so slightly a bit shit in comparison to what they used to use. The older, it's not as good as old. I remember when the blah blah, fill in the blank, yeah. When they first invented, Chinese invented gunpowder, and then those Europeans thought, nice, we can weaponise that shit. We can have that to literally fire a projectile down a tube and kill some fucker. We can sack these bows and arrows off. The bow and arrow, the long bow, the war bow, yeah. And then the firearm was invented. You shoot an arrow, you fire a gun. You must not fire a bow, because it'll burn, and then it'll be no good. The technology, as technology increases, as technology advances, generally speaking, it gets more reliable and it gets less reliable. Well, yeah. In good old days, back in the day, back fucking hundreds of years ago, when we were at each other's throats, with like sticks and stones, just braying each other, bashing each other's skulls open till we were dead, hands on. And then we invented sharp bits of metal. Well, I think we invented sharp bits of stone prior to that, didn't we? You can cut somebody with a bit of stone, a bit of flint. A bit of flint will take a nice edge, and you can stick someone with one of them bastards. Nice one. Then over time we came up, we invented how to long-range weapons, where you can engage the enemy without getting close to them. That's a big advantage. It's a big advantage. You can reach out and touch somebody. Oh yeah. But yeah, so on and so forth. And there was a general escalation. You had bows and arrows. Very effective. Very effective weapon system, but then they invented the firearms, and yeah. Yep. You can train somebody to pick up a gun and become effective with it a lot sooner. It takes a lot less time. A lot less time, and more importantly, a lot less effort than it does for somebody to become proficient with a war bow. Now, as much as that might upset anybody listening who's into firearms, and but there's yes, it's a perishable skill, is firearms. I'm absolutely happy to accept that. But if you think you can go to war with a load of people using bows and arrows in the 21st century, you're gonna be really disappointed, because your modern day individual has neither the time or the inclination to get out there and practice with a bow. No, fuck that. Fuck that. You're not going to achieve what you're hoping to achieve with a group of grabastic fuckwits and bows and arrows. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Your enemy who has firearms are going to fuck you up. They're going to fuck you up before you've even drawn your bow. How about that? I'll say that. I'll say it out loud. And it goes on. I mean, the introduction of the rifle 5.56 into the British Armed Forces. Ooh, that one met with fuck. All the guys who'd use the SLR were wholly disappointed in the FBP. Apparently they called it the FBP. Fucking bit of plastic. The rifle 5.56, the SA-80. By all accounts, they've ironed it out now. It's a reasonably usable firearm now. 20 odd years into its deployment. It now works. Ooh. The M16, the M4, when that was fielded in Vietnam, everybody had a long face. It was really disappointing in comparison to what they had before. But now it's pretty much one of the finest assault rifles in the world. The AR-15 platform. One of the finest, if not the finest rifle in the world. For accuracy, ease of use, serviceability, it's probably the finest assault rifle you can get. Well, if you live somewhere where you can get hold of one. Anyway, so yeah, Russians have gone into Ukraine and they've had a right old drubbing, by all accounts. Because everybody's gone to Ukraine to fight the good fight against the commies. The under-equipped conscript army that is the Russian military, or so we're led to believe. Is that actually the case? Is it? Don't know. We don't know. We're just hearing what we're being told, and take it with a pinch of salt.